We are in our second part of CentOS installation. Before the process, let's check our system requirements real quick for the CentOS installation. As we mentioned in another lesson, you see we have 2 GB of RAM, 20 GB of hard drive, and my physical machine's architecture is 64-bit, and my physical machine processor's gigahertz is 2.50. So let's get started and power on this virtual machine. In this guide, we'll take the first option to directly start the installation without testing the media. So, click the first one, Install CentOS Linux 8. It's going to be taking some time, and we're going to be waiting for the process done, and we don't have to power off or shut down our system, or we can fail. So the process done, and we see welcome screen of CentOS 8. Now we will choose our language which we'll be using during our process, and you can add any language you want, but English is default language. You can add any language by typing in search bar, but I'll leave it as default and click continue. In next window we see a summary of the localization, software, and system configuration. We can look through all these settings and adjust the parameters to suit our needs. The first is the keyboard layout. If you want to add multiple languages, layouts, you can move them up and down to set one of them as your default layout. So we don't need it, and by default English language layout will proceed by clicking done. Before clicking done, you can test your layout right side of your screen, like type in CentOS 8 to make sure your language which you choose are correct. So click done and proceed. Language support. On the screen, you can install different and additional language support. You can find the language name in a search bar you want to add, then click checkbox right side of your pane, then click done. But we won't change anything else, and we'll be clicking on the done to go to main menu. Time and date. We can set time and date for our CentOS 8 by selecting the region and city we are in, because it's necessary to configure your location and time zone because of the future updates and package installation, because CentOS will look the nearest repositories. I'll choose my location, Asia, Baku, Azerbaijan, and you can click up and down to set your time to AM or PM. I click down to go exact time of my region. So click done and proceed. So installation source. In here, we're going to click our directed installation media, which shows us attached DVD ISO image file as we did in a previous video. But if you don't want to use locally, you can start your installation from a network path. So let's keep it as default, and we can add additional repositories. I'm clicking on this checkbox, and let's keep going and click done, because when I click on this, it will bring me more base environments. Software selection. In this video, we're going to install a server with a graphical user interface. There are a bunch of base environment and add-ons, but we'll leave it as unchecked except server with GUI. Click on done. So, installation destination. In this guide, you have two storage configuration and partitioning, automatic and custom. If your hard drive hasn't been used before and you want to do a clean installation, then go for automatic partitioning. Otherwise, go do your configuration manually. So we won't do any custom configuration on our storage yet, and we'll mark our hard drive for automatic installation, then we'll click done. We'll mark it, and our hard drive is partition is the NVMe0N1, 20 gigabyte. And clicking done. It says not is selected. I'm trying again. Clicking done. Now it's gonna select our hard drive. Yes, it's selected. So kdump, when a system crashes, kdump captures information that can be invaluable in determining the cause of the crash. You can also set the memory reservation to an amount you find suitable, as an automatic or manual. As a default, kdump is enabled. We'll leave our kdump as default enabled, and then we'll click done. Network and hostname. In the left pane, we have our Ethernet named ENS160. It's our network adapter. We can turn off and on our network adapter, or we can add or configure our network adapter. In this screen, we'll set our network adapter to automatic receiving an IP address from our DHCP. When IP address appears, we can name our hostname whatever we want. And I'll name my hostname CentOS 8. And I'll turn on my Ethernet adapter. Here it is. It's got my IP address automatically, and I click apply, then click done. Security policy is not enabled by default, because this policy is required to be enabled by specific organization rules or government regulations if you need it seriously. So we want to any change, click done and begin installation. As you see user settings, while installation, we can set administrator and standard user for our system. The user is a root user, which you need to set a very strong password. because the root user is used for system administration and the root user has all access to all commands, files, and so on. As you see, we have strong password. Clicking down. After root user, we can create another user, standard user, with non-root privileges, and we won't make this user as an administrator on purpose. And this additional user is going to be, like we said, standard user. We won't make this user as an administrator. So we did password for our standard user and we're going to click done. So it's going to take some time while this process to not turn off or shut down your system or you can fail. So we have here license information and it says license not accepted. We are clicking on it and this is end user license agreement. We're going to accept this, clicking our check box and clicking down. See our license accepted. Then finish configuration. Here it is, our user came up, and I guess you guys have your own user when you created your standard user. And I'm going to enter my password. This is server with GUI graphical user interface, and so here it is. Our screen came, and here is CentOS is welcoming us again, and it's the language layout. Click on next. This is keyboard layout. Click on next and next. We don't do any change here, and click on skip, and then we'll start using CentOS Linux. So here it is. This is end of our lesson. See you in the next lesson. Bye.